Okay, now our exercises that will help you actually do this. Right? It's one thing to look at the theory, know how it works, understand it, but then you have to actually make it happen. And some of us, some of you, perhaps more than me, certainly, just have some sort of capacity for this and can just do it. Don't need the exercises. Most of us, however, need to train ourselves, right? And just quietly between you and me, I'm an average player, really average. You know, when I was a young bloke, I didn't have a clue, and I've only got to be sort of anyway, sort of half presentable by learning all this stuff that I'm teaching you now. I've spent, and I think my skill really in as a teacher is because I've I couldn't do it naturally. I didn't just hear these things. I couldn't just just have the talent. I was terrible as a young guy. I wanted to play. I worked my butt off, but I was hopeless. But by learning all this stuff that I'm teaching you now, I was able to come to some reasonable level of proficiency. And so that's why the exercises such as the ones that you see in these videos, the second ones in the lessons, are so important, because they give you the skills to be able to do to exercise, if you like, the theory to put it into practice. Anyway, didn't know that little rave was going to happen, but there we go. Um, here's how we do that. First of all, you've got your exercises from your groove module, groove lesson, I should say. Okay, so where we looked at accenting certain beats, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we had that bit where you that exercise where you subdivided the beat, where you went from 1. Okay, that's going to be important, because once you can do that and switch seamlessly between them, you'll be able to do that in your playing as well. Yeah, you'll be able to go. And each of those beats will be, each of the notes that you play will be on a beat, on a downbeat or an upbeat, but they'll be on a beat. So the sort of the paper exercise that we looked at in the previous lesson with the grids and all that, you'll be able to make things up without having to write it all down. First thing you do is write it all down so that you understand the concepts and all that. But by doing these sort of exercises, you'll be able to you'll have all that stuff so internal that it'll just come out when you don't even know what you're doing. Okay? And this next exercise does a similar thing. What you need to do when you're riffing, first of all, let's rewind. We'll clarify the paper exercise. What I want you to do as part of this lesson is to print out the sheets at the back of the lesson, the ones with the empty grids on them. Print it out or draw them or write them out or whatever, and fill them in. So to start with, you just fill in random spaces, and then you try and play them. So you don't make them too complex. Try and, if you filled in a box here and a box there and a box there, try and play that rhythm. So it would go 1, 2, and 3, and 4, something like that. Okay. Then tap out a rhythm and try and put it in the box. Okay. Get your foot tapping. Make sure that it goes on the 1 or the downbeat or the upbeat. So something like that. Don't just tap any random thing, or you won't be able to write it in your box. Then from there, put some notes to it. Okay, we know what notes to use. We use the tense notes for tense riffs. We use the relaxed notes for resolving. This next exercise is one that will help you more readily access those tones, those pitches. Okay, so in the same way that the rhythm exercise will allow you, when you're improvising, to come up with rhythmic patterns that fit the groove. Now we're looking at when you're improvising, accessing notes of a different pitch that fit the key that you're in. Right, so if you're in this key, a certain group of notes will work with that. You're going to do an exercise now that will help you to access them. And basically all it involves is playing your scales and recognising that pitch. So what I want you to do is play the open and play the flat third, and then imagine in your head now the sound of that open. And play it. Did you get it right? Better still, sing it. And now sing the one again. Dom, dee, dom, dee, dom. Now, that's not going to be such a straightforward thing to sing the notes as well. Right? If you can, by all means. If you can't, have a go, see how close you get. Right? Do it every day for the next 10 years and you'll get it. But for now, just see if you can hear them or approximate them. Okay, so I hear that and then I go down again. Now, go up to the next one, the 4, and see if you can hear the note, the 3 note again. Bum, bum, bum. Again, sing it if you wish. If you miss it by a little bit, like I did then, it doesn't matter. But you're having a go. You're getting closer. Right? The idea is to familiarise yourself with these pitches and with the distances between them, the intervals. Okay, so that ba 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 ba. Now what's the 5 going to sound like, right? I can hear that in my head straight away. Okay, so I know that I'm going. And I can hear now that the next thing I want to do is go up to the 5. Okay, so all that stuff we did about resolving, that's a part of this, isn't it? Okay, we're understanding where the tonic note is, and we're always moving back to there. We're using our ear to do that. Now we're looking at using our ear more to find the other notes as well. Okay, as well as just saying, oh, I want a tense note. I know what a tense note is it's that one. We're saying, I want a particular tense note. I want to hear that sound. Yeah. So what I want you to do is, when this video is finished, I'll turn it off now. Get your guitar, play the 1 note, listen closely to it. Play the 3rd, flat 3rd, listen closely to it. Appreciate that connection and that relationship. Same thing with the 4. Listen with some intent, some awareness. You know. The 5, the flat 7. Stick with that minor pentatonic scale and just play it regularly, over and over, every day. Not so much for your technical facility with your slide, but for your ear. Use a tuner if your pitch is not great and you're not hitting the right note. The main thing here is to get that pitch right. Okay, so you know that if you want to go up to the 5, it's going to sound like that. Or if you want to sound like that, if you want to get that pitch, you know where to go. Okay, so then, after you've done that, a few days after you've done that, you've been doing that for a few days, you haven't done any riffing, you haven't done anything, you've just been doing that for a few days. You play a note, and then you go, where do I want to go now? I want to go there. Your time is so good that you know when you're going to do it as well. Okay, so all that is just using flat third, the flat 7, flat third again, and the 1. I may have chucked in the 5 note as well, but it's just those two positions. That's the beauty of this tuning. You got all your resolving notes there, and your tense notes there. So even without anywhere else, by mixing your rhythms up with those exercises, being really comfortable with them, you can get some really cool riffs. Now, one more thing that I want to look at in this lesson before we move on is, as well as your minor pentatonic scale, we added the flat 5 note before to make it a blues scale. Do the same thing, familiarise yourself with that. Don't spend too much time there, you may go mad. The major scale, pentatonic major scale. Remember that? It was open. I'll just press that button there. Open, 2nd, 4th, 5th, 7th. Open, 2nd, 4th, 7th, 10th, 12th. It had notes the 2 and the 6 on the 2nd and 9th frets respectively that we can use as well. Okay, I prefer to call them colour notes rather than tense notes. They're not so tense. It does want to resolve though, doesn't it? Yeah. They generally only want to move in a small direction, a short distance. Small direction. Directions don't have magnitude, do they? A short distance. So there's your 2. Your 6 is up here by the flat 7, flat 7, 6. Now, we're talking about this position before. If we come down 1 to the 2nd, you've got your 2, but you've also got your 6 there. Okay, so in the same way that you go with the flat 3 and the 2 or the 9, you can go like that. The old it's from the 6 to the flat 7 on the 2nd and 3rd frets there in your middle string. So there's a couple of, I just played a couple of riffs there as examples. You can pick them out if you like, but the main thing is the exercise. Remember that listening intently to these pitches, trying to sing them if you can, and trying to predict the sound of them before you hear them. And then, once you've done that, add these colour notes, the 2 there and the 6. Have fun.